Hi, Leo Rising. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today with your June 2023 monthly horoscope. I think this is a super, super powerful time. I almost feel as if it's what we're seeing, a culmination, accumulation of energies that is coming forth that offers us so much opportunity for balance and for personal harmony. And for you personally, Leo, I think it's going to be a very exciting month because Venus is going to enter your first house and she's going to stay there for 4 months. So let's, before I start real quickly, these videos are based on whole sign Western astrology. So if you don't know your rising sign, you're going to want to go to one of the free birth calculators on the internet, and you're going to look, you need your exact time of birth and your location, and then you can just plug it in and you'll be able to determine your information, your rising sign. I also believe this is good for Leo moon and Leo sun, but the house structure will not be the same. So be mindful of that. And let's just jump right in. First thing I want to talk about is we're in a 7-year. 2023 is a 7-year. We experienced Mars in Gemini for 7 months, and Mars has been traversing your first house. I say that because Mars is the planet of aggression, the planet of war, the planet of hostility. It's also the planet of bravery, courage, of pioneering spirit. It's the hero energy. And there's a sense of self with the Mars energy that is passionate. It is enterprising. It is on many levels. Mars in balance is very inspiring. So here, I believe this month of June is a time of integration, of epiphanies, of information, of experiences that we've had that are helping us to delineate unconscious fears and motivations that drive our choices. And sometimes we think we're making choices that are benefiting our future, and yet at the same time, it's a golden noose. So I think these kind of things are going to be illuminated in some way over this summertime, especially. But this month is interesting to me because Saturn is at 7 degrees Pisces right now. It will remain at 7 degrees Pisces for the entire month of June. So it will start moving forward, and then it will station. When Saturn stations, it's going to feel as if Saturn has rooted into the 7 vibration. And as it retrogrades, Saturn is going to literally task each and every one of us to take a deeper look at the structures that we have been building in our lives. For you, Leo, Pisces is your 8th house. So Saturn is in the house of transformation. It's also in a house that represents power and control, either the power we have over others or the power they have over us. So I really believe that Saturn is going to be asking you at a very deep level, where is the power coming from? Is the power that is being exercised within your earthly experience in balance? Is it based on fear? Is it based on support and encouragement of your dreams, of your imagination, of your own personal creativity? Leo rules personal pleasure. Pisces rules imagination, and in many facets of creativity, dance, music, poetry, photography, filmography. So I think this is very powerful. Let me step back though, because I want to talk a little bit about Venus's entry into your first house. We just saw Mars transiting through that house, and that may have brought up some disruption. As Pluto's been hanging out at 0 degrees Aquarius in your 7th house, Mars was in your first house. It was creating a tense conversation, but I also believe this was a conversation on how to build a bridge, how I can express myself as an individual and give birth to a whole new version of how I do partnerships so that it is inclusive, that it creates a sense of ebb and flow, a sense of as I said, balance and almost a deeper understanding of a disruption really being the precursor to balance and seeking out that versus just focusing in on the disruption. So we saw Mars do this. Now Venus is entering Leo. And as she does that in the early part of June, 2 days after the Sagittarius full moon, I'll be talking about that in another video. But this is going to be very important because I do believe that Venus in your first house is asking you how you perceive yourself. Are you using your skills, your talents? Are you fostering harmony and peace because you're playing to your game? Because when you play to your game, you cannot help but allow others. You're very inclusive that way. You're like, come enjoy things with me. Let's have fun together. And so it's very, to me, very powerful as you walk through this opposition with Pluto to allow for your phoenix to rise. It's not about judging an old situation and villainizing yourself within that, but rather allowing that to be that was then and this is now. This is a part of the evolution. And without the evolution, the outcome would not be as exciting or as titillating or feel as if the achievement would not be as grand and as expansive as you would want it to be. On around the 11th, we're going to see Pluto. On the 11th of June, Pluto will enter Capricorn retrograde at 29 degrees, and Pluto will move all the way to the 27th degree of Capricorn before moving forward again and ultimately re-entering Aquarius in January of 2024. This is making a sextile to Neptune. Neptune will go retrograde at the end of June 30th, and has literally been at 27 degrees for quite some time now and will remain there. This is important because this sextile for me is, here's Pluto around 28, 29, 27 degrees of Capricorn, making this sextile to Neptune, which is allowing me to renew my faith in my connection to the divine. It's allowing me an opportunity to step up into a vibration that understands that everything is secular. Everything that we are experiencing on this planet is in a state of evolution, and there's no possible way to stop everything and make it stand still. And you know, sometimes when you're young and you're in a romance or something really great is happening, you'll be like, I just want to stay in this moment forever. And yet if you were in that moment forever, it would lose its potency. So I believe that Pluto and Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces throughout this whole month, and frankly, until November, they're going to be having this sextile, is a constant conversation about stretching to a deeper and more authentic version of yourself. This is where I'm removing Pluto's toxicity. And now I've transformed that toxic waste, that matter, into something that creates a sustainable dynamic. And here, for me personally, for Leo, it very much feels as if it's allowing you the privilege of a stronger connection to your oversoul, to the bigger part of yourself that is not in this physical experience. And as a result of that, it allows you a bravery that brings forth more potential material gain. Pluto is going to be in your 6th house of Capricorn, and that's the house of service and of work. And at that point, when, you know, while Venus is in your 1st house and we sort of have this out of sign opposition, I believe this is where it starts to become a bridge, where I start to see that as I take care of me and I allow my imagination and my creativity and my enjoyment to be almost a tool of leadership. I'm actually being of service to others. I'm offering them an awareness that all work and no play makes for a stale life. And that's not why we incarnate on this planet. This is part of the human structure that has just sort of tumbled forward for eons. And now we, in this day and age, even though it's a little scary, it feels very chaotic right now. That chaos is the precursor to the balance. And the balance is not like this. The balance is the understanding of this. So I think that's super, super powerful. And I feel as if throughout this month that Leo in particular is going to feel a renewed sense of purpose. And I think that's because you are starting to become more brave and more, maybe even slightly brazen in claiming yourself. So as Pluto and Neptune foster a sextiling bridge, we see Saturn doing the same thing with Jupiter. From the beginning of the month throughout the month, there is a sextile between these two planets. So Saturn is giving us sustainability, an opportunity to build something that will continue on beyond what we can see with our eyes. And then Jupiter is offering us this opportunity to learn something new about ourselves, this opportunity to feel as if I have a renewed sense of faith and of hope and of excitement moving forward. There is a drifting trine between Saturn and the South Node. And then, of course, the North Node is conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. So that sextile between Saturn plays to the North Node during this period as well. So I feel like this is where Saturn is really starting to offer reward and offer us that enduring, long-term, sustainable energy that gives us a sense of confidence, a sense of sureness. I think this is very powerful. There's also that Venus is having that blind spot to Saturn. So I do believe that at some point during the month, as Venus moves into the 4th to 9th degree of Leo, she starts to make sort of an awkward angle. An inconjunct is a blind spot. I feel like I'm driving down a road and I'm starting to come around a corner and I'm aware that there could be something I can't see, but there's no way to anticipate how I will react when it appears. So this is super important because I think on some level with the Saturn being involved, it could bring up a historical dynamic. Now, for my Leos, again, Saturn's in the house of the 8th house of other people. Yes, it's Pisces. So there could potentially be a feeling of loss connected to something that I thought at one point was sustainable, and it's not. And that will be illuminated through that blind spot where you could have been building it on fear or be willing to shave off too many of your beautiful corners and you were dumbing down too much. So the universe wasn't going to allow for that. Finally, we have Saturn going retrograde on June 17th. And as a result of that retrograde, it is going to be, I'm sorry, my phone is going off and I thought I turned it off to put on airplane mode and it's going off. So I'm a little frustrated right now. So Saturn is going retrograde on the 17th of June. At the same day, we're having a new moon in Gemini, which is making a square to Neptune in Pisces. Gemini new moon is at 26 degrees and Neptune is at 27 degrees. This to me feels as if there is an awareness. Saturn is giving me an awareness as it's retrograding of this square that is creating a tense conversation between an evolved version of myself, a certain awareness of what I want, a certain awareness of what I want to be and how I want to show up. And then there's this other side of me that I default to and I react to and sits underneath me at sometimes and almost frustrates me. So I have this sort of awareness of these 2 points, and I have to make a really intentional choice to purport the evolved version of myself. Now you've got Venus in your first house, and there's that blind spot. And so on the day of the new moon, you may be feeling a sense of even scatteredness, as if you're getting little bits of information that make no sense to you at the time. And there's a part of you within the Leo energy that just wants to sort of roar about it, to take action on it. And I almost feel as if Saturn throughout this whole thing is slow down. There's a gift here somewhere. And if you move too quickly, you'll miss the gift because you'll react in a way that was patterned versus the opportunity that the sextile between Saturn, Jupiter, and the North Node are offering you in their expansive energy, in rewriting your beliefs. I could scream right now over that phone. Sorry. So that's really it for the month of June for my Leos. Overall, I want to offer you this idea. You have Venus traversing your first house. And while she's making an opposition to Pluto, it doesn't have to be something that feels dark and dreary and toxic and repetitive. It can very much be an opportunity to liberate yourself, to rebirth yourself, to step into the spotlight that you so richly deserve as you trust your own talents and your own gifts. And in doing so, you bring much joy to those around you as they watch you thrive. So thank you so much, my Leo risings. Enjoy your June. Pace yourself, be gentle with yourself. Remember, the key is balance and integration this month. It isn't about judgment. It isn't about criticism. So thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share the videos. And if you are inspired, please join me on Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's where we do an angel reading and we pull a tarot card for each one of the signs to get advice on how to traverse the week ahead's transits. So I hope you'll join. It's a nice little community. We'd love to have your Leo energy with us. So take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Peace out.